Whoa, whoa, whoa. What are you doing with him?
I'm finally making his head cage.
The one that's supposed to stop him from chewing on people?
In theory.
I don't like that theory.
I mean, look at him. He looks sad.
That is not sadness. That's the face of something deciding which one of us he's going to eat first.
Today, I'm going to show you how to make the iconic head cage for my Jackal prop from the movie 13 Ghosts. Now, I'm going to show you how to make this thing almost entirely out of cardboard. We're going to seal it with shellac and paint it to make it look like rusted metal. So why don't we head over to the workbench and get started. All right, what's up everybody? So in today's video, I'm gonna be showing you how to create the cage that goes around the Jackal's head. And we're gonna be focusing on how I make that from scratch. So we're gonna be using cardboard in today's video to create the structure itself. Now, this is gonna be an indoor prop and or a costume accessory, right? So you're obviously not gonna wanna put this outside, even though we're gonna be using some materials in today's video that allows you to kind of have it a little more weather resistant, moisture resistant. I still wouldn't recommend putting it on your outdoor props and expecting it to last season after season. But in today's video, I'm going to be showing you the construction of the cage, which is going to be mostly cardboard. And then I'm going to go and take a little bit of 5mm craft foam to create all the rivets and stuff that are on the actual cage to give it more detail. And then we're going to be sealing that with shellac. So everything's going to get a nice coat, a few coats of shellac to hard coat it. And then we're going to go back in and do some really cool detailed paint to get like a rusted metal feel, and I want to primarily show you guys that in today's video. So this is going to be a really cool, easy project that anybody can get done. So without me sitting here and talking too much longer, why don't we go ahead and go wild? Okay, to start off with the cage here, I'm just gonna be working with my cardboard. Now my cardboard here is pretty thick. It's not like a normal piece. This is a pretty thick piece of cardboard. So if you're using thinner cardboard, I would say maybe double up on it just so those strips are nice and strong. Also too, I'm gonna be using a paint stick as my guide as far as the thickness. I'm gonna go ahead and cut along here, just kind of score the cardboard and then just keep going as far down as I can. That way I have long strips that I can just cut down when I'm ready. Do your best to keep these as straight as possible as well, too, if you can. Okay, so now I have my length here. I'm just gonna cut a ton more of these, and then we'll cut them down to size and fit the box together. Okay, so I have all my strips cut, and what I did was I cut a bunch at 13 inches because that's how high I want my box to be, and then I cut a bunch at 10 inches in length. Now my box, I measured it around the head. You can adjust this depending on your character, of course, and the size of your head. I wanted a nice tight fit for the actual box around the head because originally it was too big and it had too much play in it, so I wanted to sit a little bit tighter. So I'm going to make mine 13 inches high by 10 inches wide by 10 inches deep. And that'll cover the head perfectly. It'll keep it nice and snug. I don't have to worry about it blowing around or tipping off or anything like that. Also too, I have a bunch of scrap pieces that I cut here, and these are going to be for the bars in the front. And I'll glue these into place and then just bend the cardboard around to make it look like bent out metal. So what I'm going to do now is go ahead and assemble the box. I'm just going to do the side panels first, and then I'll just connect everything. Now I want to make the front of the cage, and I want to make the bent bars that are coming off the side. It's really easy. All I'm taking is scrap pieces of our strips here. I'm gonna just kind of bend them out. And I want them to be kind of short, so bend them out like this, so that way I can glue them into place and give me that effect of bent bars by the face. So like everything else, just a bead of hot glue, and I'm lining it up with the bars on the side and the top here. All right, so now what I need to do is create the hook on the top, and I'm gonna do that with cardboard as well. And then we're gonna create the little rivets that go on the side. I'm gonna show you that in a second. All right, now we're gonna talk about the rivets, and I'm gonna show you how to make these guys. Now, what I ended up using for this was some 5mm craft foam, and then I took a small piece of PVC pipe. This is 1/2-inch PVC pipe. I just shoved a drill bit in here. It's just a socket bit so I can attach to my gun, because what I'm going to be doing. And also too, the inside of this, I took my rotary tool and just shaved it down so it's sharper. Now the idea is to go ahead and create these little rivets using this craft foam, and this PVC pipe is basically my cutting tool. Now you can do this by hand. Absolutely do this by hand if you don't have the drill attachment and all that good stuff, but it's going to take you a long time, and you got to make sure that this is really sharp. Now I put it on a drill because this box is gonna need about 70 of these. If I do this by hand, it's gonna take forever. So I'm gonna use my drill attachment here and just go to town. Now I can pop these out. You might have a little bit of stuff on the outside you can peel off, but that's gonna give me a perfect rivet that I can now glue these all over the box, and it's gonna give it that more realistic feel. So I'm gonna cut out about 70 of these guys, and we'll come back, we'll glue them all on, and then we'll get to the shellac. All right, we got all our rivets done here, and I'm gonna start gluing them. I'm gonna glue them wherever they meet, wherever the metal meets. Okay, now our cage is looking good. I put the hook on, and the hook is just more cardboard. So now we're gonna start with our shellac. So this stuff here, I'm only gonna be doing thin coats. So I'm gonna do 2 to 3 thin coats of the shellac over the entire piece. It's gonna take about an hour to dry in between. And once all that's done, then we'll get to our detailed paint. All right, everyone. So our shellac is completely dry now. I did 2 coats on this, and I'm so happy with the results. I've never used shellac on cardboard like this before. It was a tip and trick that I came across through my endless scrolling that I tend to do. I really like the way it hard coated this. You could tell it's gonna create like a way longer lifespan for the actual prop itself. I'm definitely gonna be using it in the future. But I also wanted to show you some of the details here in the light, but all the rivets that we put on here, that bent broken cage that comes up like this in the front. I even added a little Dollar Tree handcuff chain or whatever, just to give it a little bit more character. Now we're gonna go ahead and get to creating that rusted old like cast iron metal paint job. And I'm so excited about this. It's gonna be a fun step. So let's get over to that really quick. Also too, I just wanted to show you this because this is great for props. Like I said before, it's also great for costumes. So this, you slip this right over your head and you'd be an awesome Jackal. Also too, look at the cage. Your face can kind of come out of there and press through the bars a little bit just to give that effect. Really cool stuff. So anyway, just wanted to show you that really quick. Now let's finish up this build. All right, to start off, I'm gonna go ahead and just give this entire thing a coat of black paint. And I'm just using a watered down black paint to get this. So I'm gonna give the whole thing a quick coat of this, and then we'll start working in some of the detail once this dries. Okay, so we have our first layer of this wash, this black wash dry now. And what I want to go ahead and do is start to add some texture. And the texture I'm looking for is that like bumpy, metal, old, starting to rust feeling. I want that over the entirety of this. Now, one thing I do want to mention too, you can see some of the corrugation from the cardboard here. If you guys, like if you want to make sure this is flat and smooth so you can't see this stuff, one alternative is they sell caulking at the Dollar Tree. So it's $1.50, I think, something like that for a tube of caulking. They also have just like the toothpaste style in case you don't have the gun for it. And you can fill this in all the grooves, just wipe it smooth and let that cure. And then you can go ahead and have a smooth surface to work with. I'm not worried about it too much. So right now I want to get to the texture like I said. So what we're going to do is I'm going to take a little bit of black acrylic paint here. I'm going to be generous with this here, little pile. And then I'm going to take a little bit of sand, and alternatively, you can use baking soda. That works really well too. You want like a fine grit of some kind. And I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit in there, and then I'll just kind of mix this in with my brush. I can always adjust this too, more or less depending. So go light at first, and then as you need add. But then I'm just going to kind of stipple this in. And I think I'm going to add a little bit more sand to mine. You just want to keep this tacky enough that it'll stick, but you want to have enough of that sand in there so you get that texture. Okay, and I'll try to bring you in a little closer so you guys can see this as well. And as I do my stippling here, you should start to see a little bit of that grain, and that's exactly what I'm looking for. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and do this all around the box and various density of sand, and then we'll get to the next step. All right, now I'm gonna go in with like a lighter brown color. And what I'm looking to do is put the rust in specific spots, not over everything entirely. And typically where you would find rust is where water collects. So I'm gonna be thinking like underneath these rivets, in these little areas where moisture could sit for a while. All right, I'm just gonna stipple this on. Now this also has the sand here. I wanna create as much texture as I can. Just take your time, go in certain spots, maybe back up a little bit. The rust will creep up, you know, because this brown is pretty dark. It's gonna fade as it dries, gets a little darker. So I add another color over the top of this to push it even further. Also, you can use this to kind of hide some of your corrugation in your cardboard as well. Make sure you have reference pictures too if you're not familiar with how rust spreads and stuff like that. That way you can go back and refer to that and it looks as realistic as possible. So I'm gonna go ahead and do this color. We'll do a few more and this guy will be done. Okay, before I put the lightest coat of my rust color on, I want to take a little bit of this, and this is just a silver like metallic paint. And I'm just gonna take a little bit on my finger here and I'm just gonna run it around some of the edges. And again, you can also use a brush for this if you want, and I'll demonstrate that as well. Okay, make sure your brush is nice and dry. Get a very little amount and then just lightly kind of go over the edges. Make sure to turn your brush in all kinds of different directions so it doesn't look like brush strokes. Gotta break up the look of it a little bit. You can also do this too, right over the black first and then add your rust over the top of that. And just play with the amount of silver you put on here, but that way you get that cool metal look. All right, so I'm gonna do the rest of this box and then we'll go ahead and do our final bit of rust and this guy will be done. Well, I'd say that turned out pretty good. The whole head cage brings the Jackal together, don't you think?
You know, I really hate how much I like this.
Really?
Yeah, it looks fantastic, which is exactly why I never want to be left alone with it.
I think we'll be all right.
That's easy for you to say. He's not living with you in the garage.
If you guys enjoyed today's build and you'd like to make one for your own haunt, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and let me know down in the comment section what I should build next. But until next time, keep building things, stay creative, and don't forget to go wild. I'm Gio from Carvalho Creations, and I'll see you next time.
Better relax, Crow, before I sock you in your eyes.